Welcome to the Horror Hotel. My name is Turtle and I'm here to review Halloween, which I saw this Monday. You will have to excuse me a little bit though, because I seem to have caught a cold, which you will hear. But thank you everyone for watching anyway. Let's get right into it. I was never really scared that Halloween would be a failure in any way, really. With the people that was on this project, it struck me as the right people to do it from the get-go. Unlike most old franchises within horror that get done now, this isn't really a remake but a sequel to the first movie, as it rightfully ignores the other movies that have been part of the franchise. It's been 40 years since the babysitter murders happened, and Michael Myers has been locked up in Smith Grove Sanitarium during that time, but has been unresponsive just as before, which sparks the interest of two podcasters that do what they would call investigative journalism into various true crime cases in order to shed new light into them and maybe somehow help solving various mysteries surrounding these cases. This time their target is Michael Myers, so they go there in order to try to interview him and possibly Laurie Strode about what happened that Halloween night in 1978. Michael Myers is about to be moved to another facility from Smith Grove Sanitarium and is loaded on a bus with other patients the 30th of October for the transportation to the new facility. However, the bus crashes and Michael Myers escapes and goes on a killing spree. The plot of the movie is pretty straightforward and I'm really pleased with that. Something that never felt right in a lot of the sequels was how they tried to add new things into the plot or the character of Michael Myers, when all that does is making him like all the other slasher killers. But here we stay on what originally made Myers scary, and it works amazingly well. In this one, Michael Myers is omnibus and scary, and they decided to crank up the violence a notch to make him even more brutal in his killings, and it feels like how this feeds into the very idea that there is no motivation for Myers other than to kill, and that fits the movie really well. The cinematography in this movie did actually really surprise me, because there are some genuinely good scenes camera-wise that I did not expect to see. But it is clear that David Gordon Green and his team really had some new ideas for the franchise without taking away the essential soul of the original film and its characters. And in such good hands, there is no wonders that the actors giving their A games, as I don't really think there is one scene that I reacted to in which the acting was shoddy or anything. It all felt very natural and in place without interruptions in that department. Alright, so this part I want to go a little bit deeper into the movie, so this part will be spoiler filled, but I will put a time up here that you can skip to if you want to skip the spoilers and go to the end of the review. So, there is a lot to say about this movie in general. One thing is that it manages to both be predictable and unpredictable at the same time. We all know who Michael Myers is, and that is not Laurie Strode's brother, and how he functions. But in order to go back to original, it seems that they played out Michael to be really unpredictable in his killings. This is why I mentioned before that there is no real motivation in the character, it's just pure evil. There are certain things with the movie that might have fallen a little bit flat, and I will get to those in a bit, but there is this scene when Michael has escaped and comes to the town of Haddonfield once again, and the kids are doing trick-or-treat are bouncing into him, and he doesn't really care about them, but spots a garage in which he goes in there and grabs a hammer, and then he continues into the house, kills a woman off screen with it, and all of that just to get the butcher's knife lying on the counter. He then proceeds out of the house, and we see a babysitter being told that he's on the loose over the phone, and she checks out the window and locks it, but in the window in the back we see Michael walking past her, and it appears behind her and kills her with a knife in one uncut shot. There are some storylines and plots that I either feel was a bit weird or unnecessary or forced. As we follow Laurie's granddaughter and her teenage life around Halloween, she gets a new boyfriend who later on at dinner will meet Laurie for the first time, and I guarantee you that scene is priceless, but not in a funny way but a rather tragic way. However, his storyline kind of ends there. His job is to piss off the granddaughter later as he cheats with another girl at the Halloween dance, which sends her on the way into the night and into the sight of Michael Myers. And that felt a little bit weak, to be honest. I kind of expected his head to explode or something. Another plot twist that seems like it's out of nowhere is that Michael's new doctor, that was an apprentice of Dr. Loomis, flips out and murders a police officer. Finally, he can feel what Michael feels or something, and then he gets his head squished like a pumpkin under his former patient's boot. This storyline's only purpose is to get Allison to Laurie Strode's house, and in that sense Michael tags along. Because in the movie he's not out after Laurie, as she is not his sister, because that was added in the second movie, and that the plot twist kind of only exists to transport the movie into the final showdown. As for other characters like Laurie Strode, her daughter and granddaughter, there is certainly a lot of interesting aspects. Laurie Strode never recovered from that night and has spent her whole life wishing for a chance to kill Myers and raising her daughter to be prepared for the day when he once again arrives. This obviously trashed the family completely, and Laurie Strode is a legit crazy. Her obsession is interesting though, as you soon realize that the characters kind of switch place in the story. Michael seemingly not caring for her and Laurie being the hunter. It's a bit complicated, but I really like that depth to a character. All in all, I think that this movie is the best of the franchise after the first movie. I feel like the team behind it went 100% and Blumhouse did the right thing to support the project to the very end. If you want an old-time slasher in a new packaging, this movie is definitely for you. And even if you haven't seen the first one, this one works as a standalone, since you will understand the backstory either way. All in all, a solid film, and I highly recommend it. Thank you everyone for watching that. I really appreciate it. You can follow me everywhere, like Twitter and Instagram and Snapchat and here and on Twitch or something like that. Doesn't really matter. Follow me everywhere. I like follows. And hit me up with questions on Curious Cat if you want to do that. All of the links are down below, so you don't have to go far. And I will see you guys in the next video. I'm gonna get cough drops.